Hello, everyone, and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment for my brain. And today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning Historical Challenge. So today is February 1st, so for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that is when I send out my contract extensions for players that are on expiring contracts. I am bringing back quite a bit this time out. A lot of core players have expiring contracts, and a couple depth player that have maybe not even played in the NHL yet, but you need depth, when especially for a team that I am controlling, as my teams always seem to be injury prone. So Nylander is gonna be back. He's been playing okay since I recalled him. Not much of a passer so far, but 8 points in 13 games is nothing to sneeze at. Sundin, of course, Edberg, Avlid, Neskash, Bouillon, Naslund, Smith, Mironov, Jovanovski, and Peltonen are all going to be back. Among the players that are not going to be back, Mark Bergevin, I'm not going to resign. Jonas Oglund is not going to come back, and a couple other players. So I've put them all on the trade block and see if maybe somebody wants my unwanted players. As far as injuries go, we are still very much hurt, so we may see Sergei Brin back this month, but Guerin and Ruchin are going to wait until March at the earliest. And as far as our performance, we are 7th in the East. It could be worse. And like I said at the end of the last video, there's a 3-point swing that you look, if you look down or up. So our destiny is in our own hands. We need to win games. And thankfully, and hopefully, the month of February has a lot of home games, so hopefully we can capitalize on that. So that's pretty much it. No, I do not have another blockbuster trade in the works. Not right now. Maybe later. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this season. I feel like I pretty much went all out already. Well, I guess we'll see. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. We play tomorrow at home against the Leafs. All right, so I have a lot of messages because everybody signed their contract. And then there's a couple other things going on. So Al McInnes is injured in Calgary. He's going to miss 5 weeks. I was going to say 5 games. 5 weeks. Calgary is not doing too good. That's not going to help them like one bit. Sergei Berezin is suspended in Philadelphia. He's going to miss 1 whopping game. William Davidson is satisfied with my work, but yeah, we didn't even play 500 last month. It was not a good month. We need to do better. And then, yeah, and then everybody signed, so. There we go. Alright, so now we have 2 games in 2 nights, and those are going to be important. We're playing against the Leafs. They're the worst team in the East right now, with a record of 13-29-6. We are 1-0-1 against the Leafs this season. We need to win that, and then we have a very important game against the Washington Capitals. Following that, the next day, Washington is breathing down our necks, and that's kind of surprising because Washington has been terrible since the start of this series. They also have been terrible in all of my last year's series with Franchise Hockey Manager 6. They've also been terrible in the different live streams that I've made with JT Dutch. No matter what I do, Washington is not good. So it's a little bit surprising to see them breathing down our necks here. But anyway, so Toronto is on the menu first game of the month. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that set up. So Mikhail Shtalenkov is going to be in net for the Leafs. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. Abibulin has 5 fires, so hopefully that matters here. His goalie stats kind of dropped, and he's not like in the top 10 anymore. He was in the top 10 for most of the season. So hopefully that comes back to higher standards. All right, so, well, go Lightning, go, and I'm pressing the button now. Oh yeah, a 6-1 win to start the video here. That's always a good thing. We outshot the Leafs 37-29 in that one. Ville Peltonen had a pretty good game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Martin Straka was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Per Gustafsson was the third star with an assist. 14,508 people in attendance for this beautiful, beautiful game against the Leafs. So Mikael Andersson scored first in the first period from Sean Chambers and Ville Peltonen. Then Martin Straka added to our lead from Marcus Neslund and Boris Mironov. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Adrian Aucoin scored from Boris Mironov and Martin Straka, made it 3-0. Then the Leafs scored, made it 3-1. And then we scored 3 unanswered goals in the third period. Brian Rafalski scored his 5th from Ville Peltonen and Mats Sundin. Ryan Smith scored from Scott Young, and then Ville Peltonen from Per Gustafsson. 6-1 Tampa Bay, the win, and that's a good way to start the month. We needed that. Of course, Alexander McGillney is hurt, though, so it looks like it's a day-to-day injury, so I might be okay. Let's see what happens here. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal against the Buffalo Sabres. However, his assist streak ended at 11 games since he didn't get an assist in that game. Those players are feeling better, I guess. Alright, so McGillney, yeah, that's a day-to-day injury, so Nylander or Titov can join in the fun. All right, we're now going to be playing in Washington. Washington is now 20-21-6. That's good for 9th in the East. They are 4 points behind us, but they have 2 games in hand, so we need to win this game. We are 1-1 against Washington. Both games were a 2-1 affair. So let's see. Yeah, both teams won on home ice too, and we are on the road, so we need to turn our fortunes around a little bit. Right, we're going to go with Johan Edberg for that game. The Caps are going with Olaf Kozig. Come on, guys. Oh, dear God. So, we got ended a loss handily, 7-0. In a game that we absolutely needed to win, so that's not good. Oh God, Edberg was terrible. We outshot Washington 36-26. So Hedberg at one point had 5 fires under his name. Yeah, now he has probably 5 pieces of feces under his name. We lost 7-0. That is disgraceful. Alright, so Kozig was the first star of the game, obviously, with 36 saves, a shutout, and the W. Sergei Gonchar was the second star with 2 goals and 2 assists. And Alexander Degg was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. I guess the game knows I'm a Sens fan, so it's taunting me by giving Degg a good game. That's probably what's going on. Alright. There were no fights. I have no interest in looking at all of their goals, so let's move on. Great night for Mats Trigg in New Jersey. He had a hat trick, 3 goals against Carolina. And Sergei Fedorov also had a good game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Islanders. Pretty good indeed. Alright, so we have one more day off here. Alright, so Don Sweeney is hurt in Boston. Oh, dear God. This is a concussion. He's out for 12 months. I think this is one of the longest injuries I've seen. I think I've seen a 14-month injury before. This is, yeah, this is a whole calendar year here. Right, so the Bruins without Don Sweeney for a year, and yeah, they have a decent record. That's gonna hurt them. And Sergei Berzin is back from suspension, so back in the lineup over there. Right, we are about to play the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. The Ducks are 13, 28, and 8, and we are 0 and 1 against the Ducks. We did lose in Anaheim 3 to 1, so hopefully, now that we are on home ice, we can kind of get some revenge here. So the Mighty Ducks, sorry, are going to go with Guilbert, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin after the pathetic display that Johan Edberg gave us. I just gave him a new contract. I would have appreciated some support in it after that. And we can't do better than a tie against a very bad team. That is not a good omen. Guilbert stole that point from us. We outshot Anaheim 45 to 29. Sorry, my throat is terrible. It's been raining for like 8 hours here. My throat does not like that. I try to keep hydrated, but my throat does whatever it wants. Right, so we outshot Anaheim 45 to 29. Brian Rafalski was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Bruno Zarillo was the second star with a goal and an assist. And German Titov was the third star with a goal. 15,101 people believe that we could beat the Mighty Ducks and left the arena pretty defeated, I guess. Right, so we took a 2-0 lead into this game. German Titov scored first from Maxim Sushinsky and Brian Rafalski, and then Adrian Aucoin scored short-handed from Valery Bourré. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay at that point. But before the end of the period, the Mighty Ducks scored, made it 2-1. Then in the second period, the Mighty Ducks tied the game at 2, and there was a fight between Adrian Aucoin and Ty Domi. Nobody scored in the third or in overtime, so we do get a point, but that's a disappointing one as we tie against Anaheim. Alright, so Guy Carbonneau played into his 1,250th game in his career. That happened against the Florida Panthers. No point for Carbonneau in that game. He is 38 and he is still a 3-star player. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 13 games with an assist against the Florida Panthers in that same game. Alright, so we have 4 days off before we host the Blues. Hopefully we can win this game. And hopefully in between, Washington doesn't catch up to us. Oh god, they're only 1 point behind with 2 games on. That's a little scary. Alright, so Todd Harvey playing in Calgary is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Brad May is also suspended. He's going to miss 8 games in Buffalo. Neil Broughton got his 900th point of his career with an assist against the Buffalo Sabres. Neil Broughton is now 39 and still a 2.5-star player. Russ Courtnall played in his 1,000th game in his career. That happened against Phoenix. No points for Ross Courtnall, 34 years old, still a 2.5-star player. A night to remember for Brendan Shanahan, who had a hat-trick against the Mighty Ducks. Oh, Sergei Brin is now ready to come back to practice. Dave Reed is available on waivers, and so is Brian Noonan. Oh dear God, Brian Noonan has 0 points in 22 games on the season. That's bad. Mario Lemieux's point streak ended at 13 games. He didn't get a point against Detroit, so the Red Wings stopped Mario Lemieux. And Jason Daw in Buffalo is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Right, so Stu Barnes was looked at for a potential suspension, but he is not suspended, stays in the lineup. Chris Dingman is back from suspension with Florida, back in the lineup over there. And Alexander McGillney's feeling a little bit better. Right, Ray Shepard extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and an assist against Nashville. And Jaromir Jagr is hurt. He is day-to-day in Pittsburgh. Alright, we are about to host the St. Louis Blues. They are 19, 23, and 7 on the season. We have not played the Blues so far, so let's take a look. Alright, so Kimmo Timonen is hurt. He's not going to play. And Robert Pukelovich is also hurt and not going to play. Oh god, they have a lot of injuries there. Christian Laflamme is hurt, he's not gonna play. Craig Janney is hurt, he's not gonna play. And Nelson Emerson is hurt and he may or may not play. Alright. So in net they have Roman Czechmanik and Curtis Joseph. Steve Stajos, Krasotkin, Kasleva, McLaren, Quintal, Laflamme on D. That's not all that great. Friedman, Lacroix, Mutter, Nemchinov, Shanahan, Bulish, Janet Korolev, Laperriere, Wayne Primo, Alan McCauley, Stu Barnes, Nelson Emerson, Brettel, and Plavutka up front. That's an intriguing team. They have a lot of injuries, so hopefully we can win, take advantage of that. Right, so the Blues are going to go with Curtis Joseph in net. He has 5 fires. And we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin, who also has 5 fires. And yet again, we couldn't do better than a tie against a team with a poor record. Once again, we got that point stolen by their goaltender. This is crazy. We outshot them 50-25, but we still cannot win a game. Per Gustafsson was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Stu Barnes was the second star with 2 assists, and Ryan Smith was the third star with a goal. So Mats Sundin opened up the scoring in the first period, and I forgot to say that there were 15,039 people in attendance for a lukewarm tie yet again. So Sundin scored from Per Gustafsson and Vili Peltonen, then the Blues tied the game, and then we scored again. It was Sean Chambers on the power play from Maxim Sushinsky and Martin Straka. 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Ryan Smith scored from Boris Mironov and Scott Young. It was 3-1 at that point. Then the Blues scored. It was 3-2. Then in the third period, the Blues scored again, tied the game. It was tied at 3, and of course, nobody scored in overtime, so we get a point out of a tie from the Blues. Oh dear God, another super long injury. Kent Manderville in Toronto is out for 7 months with a ruptured bicep tendon, so we'll see you sometime next year, Kent. And Nicholas Lidstrom extended with the Detroit Red Wings for a 6-year contract, $2.59 million per season. Alright, and we have 2 days off, and then we're going to be playing against the San Jose Sharks. Big game for Todd Bertuzzi. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Red Wings. Ray Shepard in that same game extended his goal streak to 5 games with a goal. And that was 13 straight games with a point. And Alexander McGillney is close to be back. Alright, so Todd Harvey is done with his suspension, so he's back in the lineup in Calgary. Ray Shepard extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal against the Blackhawks. And that was 14 straight games with a point for him. Yanni Lokanen is not suspended in Carolina, so former Tampa Bay Lightning Yanni Lokanen. Alright, so McGillney, I believe, is completely recovered. And Ed Belfour signed an extension with the Blackhawks. 3 more years in Chicago, $8.34 million total. All right, the Sharks are in town. They are 22, 25, and 6. We are 1-0 against the Sharks. We did win in San Jose 4-2 earlier this season. Yeah, we could use a W here before we hit the road, that's for sure. Oh, Brennan is day to day now. He might be back soon. Alright, so Craig Hillier is going to be in net for San Jose. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. I can't say that Abibulin is losing lately. He's tying all of his games, but we get points stolen by really out goaltending from the opposition. And yet again, we're facing another goaltender that has 5 fires in Craig Hillier. And yet again, it's a tie, 4-4. I mean, I'll take the ties, but at one point I need a W here and there. Alright, so this time the game was a lot more even. Shots were tied at 42 apiece. So yeah, it was pretty much a up and gun type of, or gun and run type of game. So Scott Young was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Jason Ellison, former Tampa Bay Lightning, was the second star with 2 goals and an assist. And Martin Straka was the third star with 2 assists. 15,108 people in attendance for the game. Right, so we open up the scoring in the first. Scott Young scored from Martin Straka. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then the Sharks tied the game. And then Michael Enzo scored from Marcus Naslund and Valerie Bourré. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay. Then the Sharks scored twice before the end of the first, so San Jose was up 3-2 after 1. Then we scored twice in the second period. Scott Young scored his 10th from Teppo Numminen and Martin Straka, and then Vili Peltonen scored his 15th from Mikael Anderson and Brian Rafalski. 4-3 Tampa Bay. And then Paul Coffey, one of my favorites, came and hurt me late in the third period by tying the game, and nobody else scored after that, so it's a 4-4 tie. Alright, so Shane Corson in Edmonton is suspended. He's going to miss 12 games. Dear God, there's injuries that don't last that long. Uh-oh, Bill Guerin suffers a setback with his injury. Oh, dear God. I didn't need that. That's a concussion. So Guerin is back to 1 to 2 months time frame instead of 1 to 2 weeks. Oh, I did not need that. But, and I say it super often, but, that's a saying that I really like. Without bad luck, we wouldn't have any luck at all, right? Alright, so Ruslan Soleil is on waivers. So is Jean-Jacques Daigneault. And Draumir Kadlec. Daigneault. Are you still good at something? Some. Oh, you're still signed for 3 more years. Yeah, I don't know that I want to get you. I think I would have picked you up if you were on your last year of your contract, but I don't think I'm going to pick you up if you have 3 more years. Right, Mark Messier is suspended in New York. He's going to miss 10 games. Dear God. Ray Shepherd extends his goal streak to 7 games with a goal and an assist against the Rangers in that same game, and that was 15 straight games with a point for him. So Ray Shepherd on a nice little run there. Alright, so we are about to play against the Islanders. Islanders are 23, 29, and 3. That's good for 11th in the East. And we need a win. We dropped to 9th. So all those ties have not served us all that great. Right, so Nikolai Abibulin, we're 1-1. I forgot to say that we are 1-1-1 against the Islanders this season, or at least I think I forgot to say it. Maybe I said it and forgot that I said it, and that I forgot saying it. That's also a possibility. Alright, so 5 fires for Abibulin. Glenn Ely has a snowflake under his name, so maybe he got offended by something that, was not something to be offended about or something like that. I think that's what it means. All right, we need a win here. We got one finally. A nice 3-1 win on the road. That is a very nice road win against the Islanders here. We outshot them 40-20 as well, so that's pretty good. Brian Rafalski was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Glenn Ely, despite the loss, was the second star with 37 saves, and which Brandon Smith was a third star with an assist. Alright, so in the first period, Per Gustafsson opened up the scoring from Brian Rafalski and Vili Peltonen. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then in the second period, the Islanders tied the game, so it was tied at 1. Then we went into the third period, tied at 1. Mats Sundin scored the game winner. The game winner is 10th of the season from Brian Rafalski, and then Alexander Mogilny, with 3 seconds left in the game, scored in an empty net from Per Gustafsson and Brian Rafalski. It was a 3-1 victory that we desperately needed. Yes, I know that there's interesting players on waivers, but I'm not picking them up. Oh, Martin Straka is hurt. He's day-to-day. And Darius Kasparaitis is back from suspension with the Rangers. Alright, so Straka is day-to-day. Bugin is... Oh, God. Okay. Oh, it's a playable injury. Alright, we're not going to mess with it. Alright, now we're playing in New Jersey. A very important game. New Jersey is 8 with a 23-23-9 record. We have 1 game on the Devils. So winning here is pretty imperative. We are 1-0-1 against the Devils, so we beat them 3-1 at home and tied 4-4 in New Jersey. We need a win so we can leapfrog them. Alright, Nikolai Bibulin is going to be a net for us. He has still 5 fires going on for him. Martin Brodeur is going to be a net for New Jersey. He has 2 fires under his name. Come on, guys, we need a win. And we lost 5-4. Ugh. New Jersey outshot us 39-31. Jeff Friesen was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Mats Sundin was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And John McLean was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. So Alexander Mogilny opened up the scoring in the first from Marcus Neslin and Mikael Nylander. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay. Then New Jersey scored 4 times. It was 4-1 New Jersey at that point. Then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Sean Chambers and Mats Sundin. Then Mats Sundin scored from Valerie Bourré and Marcus Neslin. It was 4-3 New Jersey after 1. Then in the second period, Mikael Anderson scored to tie the game from Mats Sundin and Boris Smirnov. It was 4-4. But in the third period, about midway into the third period, John McLean played the hero with the game winner. Nobody else would score after that, and we lost a very important game, 5-4 in New Jersey. And Mats Sundin is hurt, although it is a day-to-day injury and he can't play with it. That still sucks. Mats Sundin is out with a day-to-day injury. Ray Shepard's point streak ended at 15 games. He was held scoreless against the Sharks. Alright, so Mike Milbury might lose his job as the coach of the Islanders. Islanders are 23-31-3. And Joe Sakic extends with the Avalanche. 4 more years for Sakic over there. $6.4 million a year. So that's what, no, not even. Wow, that he signed on the cheap, didn't he? I think he did. Pavel Bure scored 600 points in his career, 3 assists against the Oilers. Pavel Bure is 27 and still a 4-star player. Vincent Afous produced 500 assists in his career with an assist against the Flyers. Danfous is 31 and still a 3.5-star player. All right, we are about to play against the worst team in the league, which is the Phoenix Coyotes. They are 15, 33, and 6, and despite that, we lost the first meeting of the season against them, 4-3 in Phoenix. So hopefully we can turn this around here. Yeah, we need some wins here. We need them now. Let me check here. Yeah, they can play with injuries. Hopefully they don't get hurt further. Alright, so Miroslav Simonovic is going to be in net for Phoenix. He has 5 fires under his name. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin, who has 4 fires under his name. And we won 6-2. Alright, finally a game we were supposed to win that we actually did win. We outshot Phoenix 42-27. Mats Sundin was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. You wouldn't believe he was hurt. That's his best performance since joining the team. Vili Peltonen was the second star with 3 assists, and Teppo Numminen was the third star with an assist. 14,789 people let a big sigh of relief in the stands. We needed that win. So Sundin scored 25 seconds into the game from Teppo Numminen and Vili Peltonen, and then Mikael Andersson scored his 10th from Mats Sundin and Vili Peltonen. 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second, Phoenix scored to make it 2-1. Then Mats Sundin scored from Adrian Aucoin and Mikael Nylander. It was 3-1. Then Michael Anzus from Scott Young and Adrian Aucoin 4-1 Tampa Bay at that point. Then Phoenix scored, made it 4-2. So that was the score after the second period. We added 2 more goals in the third period. Adrian Aucoin scored on the power play in an empty net from Alexander McGillney and Mikael Nylander. And then Mats Sundin still scored after that, after they've put the goaltender back in the net from German Sitov and Vili Peltonen. And that was a 6-2 victory. All around a good game. We needed that. Alright, so Sundin with the 3 goals and an assist game. That's good. Jason Dawes' suspension is over in Buffalo, back in the lineup. Arij Vitolins is suspended in Anaheim. He's going to miss 4 games. Good game for Steve Yzerman. He had a goal and 4 assists against the against the Devils. And Scott Niedermayer extends with New Jersey. So he extended for 2 more years. They didn't say for how much. Alright, now we are playing a second game in 2 nights. We are going to host the Carolina Hurricanes. They are 24, 23, and 10. That's good for 6th in the East. We are 0-2 against the Hurricanes. We played 2 games in Carolina and tied them both. So now we are going to see if we can win now that we're going to be at home. So Chris Osgood is going to be in net for Carolina. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. They both have 4 fires under their name. Come on, Lightning. Oh boy, we lost 7-3. That's not good. We were outshot 41-31. Oleg Tverdovsky was, wow, that's an incredible game. He had a goal and 5 assists. Andrew Castles was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Kerry Hoffman was the third star with an assist. 14,283 people in attendance for us in that game. Carolina scored twice in the first period. Then Ryan Smith scored his 15th from Scott Young and Martin Straka. It was 2-1 Carolina after 1. We looked pretty good. And then we even tied the game in the second period. Ed Jovanovski scored from Valery Bure and Marcus Naslund. Then Carolina scored twice. And then Per Gustafsson scored his 5th from Mikael Andersson and Scott Young. It was 4-3 Carolina after 2. It still looked like we had a shot, but Carolina added 3 goals in the third period, and that was it. Yeah, not much else to say about this. German Sitov converts to center. Good for him. Yeah, and we saw that game against us, that 1 goal and 5 assists game from Tverdovsky. Somehow we are holding on to 8th place barely. And we are playing another important game against the Devils again in a couple days. So, all right, suspension for Brian Berard. He's going to miss 7 games. Sergei Brennan is doing better. Martin Strecker is doing better. All right, so Brad May is back from suspension in Buffalo. Sergei Brennan doing better. Martin Strecker doing better. Mats Sundin doing better. But nobody's completely recovered yet. Oh, actually, Strecker is. Alright, so we are about to play the New Jersey Devils at home. Now the Devils are 25, 24, and 9. They are now 6th in the East. We are 1-1-1 against the Devils. We kind of need this win. Martin Brother is going to be in net for the Devils. He has 3 fires. Nikolai Abibulin is going to be in net for us. He has 3 fires as well, so he's losing fire lately. We lost again, 4-3. We are now playing under 500. That's not good. We were outshot 39-20. So Trigg was the first star of the game with an assist. Alexander McGillney was the second star with 2 assists. And Sami Kapanen was the third star with a goal. 13,557 people are about to give up on their team that showed up for the game. Adrian Aucoin actually opened up the scoring for us on the power play from Alexander McGillney and Martin Strecker. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then the Devils scored 4 unanswered goals in the second period, made it 4-1. Then we scored twice. Martin Strecker scored his 10th on the power play from Adrian Aucoin and Alexander McGillney. Then Jonas Oglund scored his first of the season from Per Gustafsson and Brian Rafalski. 4-3 New Jersey after 2. And sadly, that score would hold all the way to the end of the game. Oh, we're not doing good. Britton is almost back. I'm not sure that getting him back in the lineup is going to change much of anything. It's Guerin that I really wanted back, and of course he got a setback. Alright, we have 3 days off, and then we play an important game against the Flyers, whom we're trying to catch back up. Alright, so Brennan is ready. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop Jonas Oglund at this point. If somebody wants to claim him, that's fine. Alright, so Jonas Oglund is now officially on waivers. Somebody might pick him up. I don't know. Alright. Oh, he was claimed. That's okay. Ken Daneko played in his 1000th game in his career. Didn't get a point. That was against Edmonton. Ken Daneko now plays for Anaheim. He is 34, and he is a 2-star player. Good night for Mikhail Pivanka. He had a hat-trick against Phoenix. So Nashville claims Jonas Oglund. Steve Ruchin is about to come back. And Mats Sundin is recovered. Alright. That's okay. I don't care that Jonas Oglund was claimed. He did not play very well. I thought he would be able to play a tiny bit, but he was pretty much a non-factor. Alright, so the Flyers are in town. Another important game. They are 27, 26, and 5. They are 8. We are 9th, so we need that win. We are 1-0-2 against the Flyers this season. Alright, so I have a team that's a little bit more healthy now. Hopefully that makes a difference. Damian Rhodes is going to be in net for the Flyers. He has a snowflake under his name. Nikolai Abibulin is in net for us. He is back to 4 fires. And we lost 4-2. I'm not sure what to do anymore. Feels like I've been saying that for a couple of seasons now. It looks like the RNG is really against me for some reason. Philadelphia outshot us 32-24. Darren Van Imp, of all people, was the first star of the game with 2 assists. Brian Rafalski was the second star with an assist, and Sean Podine was the third star with a goal and an assist. 13,926 people in attendance for the game. Philadelphia scored first in the first period. Then Ryan Smith tied the game from Per Gustafsson and Brian Rafalski, tied at 1 at that point. And then the Flyers scored again, made it 2-1. Philadelphia after 1. And in the second period, Philadelphia scored again, made it 3-1. And then in the third, Marcus Naslund gave us some hope with his 10th of the season from Boris Mironov and Maxim Sushinsky. It was 3-2 Flyers at that point, but then shortly after, the Flyers scored again, took a 2-goal lead back that they rode all the way to the end of the game, and we lost 4-2. Alright, so Dan Kessa is on waivers. I'm not going to pick him up. And that was the end of the month, actually. I almost continued there. Wow, okay. Yeah, not a good month again. We are slipping away. I don't like that. Suspension for Rob Blake with the Kings. He's going to miss 1 game. Vyacheslav Kozlov keeps fans on their feet all night with a hat trick against the Panthers. Krister Olsen is suspended in San Jose. He's going to miss 6 games. And Murray Craven is suspended in Carolina. He's going to miss 6 games as well. Those suspensions are really high. Alright, so we're February 27th, so I'm going to move forward a little bit. Alright, so Ray Shepard keeps fans on their feet all night with a hat trick against the Islanders. Vitolin's suspension ends back in the lineup in Anaheim. Bob Rouse played in his 1000th game in his career, playing for Florida. He got that against the Maple Leafs. Bob Rouse is 34 and still a 2-star defenseman. Alright. And one more click. Alright, so Rob Blake served his suspension already, back in the lineup. Gary Galley played in a 1000 game in his career, celebrated that with a goal against the Rangers. Gary Galley's 35, still a 2-star player. And Nick Lidstrom and Bill Ranford are the player of the month in the NHL, so Bill Ranford gets it again. He's having one heck of a season. I remember when the Kings got him, I was like, well, I'm not too sure that Bill Ranford is going to be good for them, and he's been fantastic over there. I could use him. Oh, dear God. So, yeah, that's not good. We are 9th in the East. We are 3 points behind 8th place Washington Capitals with a game on hand, so we have at least that going for us. But what's not good is that very long road trip that I'm seeing in March, so that's not going to be easy, that's for sure. Yeah, Bill Guerin is still not about to come back. Steve Rutschen, we should see back in the lineup in the next episode. In March, the trade deadline is going to be on March 19th, so that's that Detroit game there on the schedule. So do I need to make another move? I might have to put me over the hump. But it looks like every time I make a trade, it backfires, so I'm almost scared to do that. Maybe I just need to give enhancing drugs to my players instead and have them cheat so that we can win. I do not condone that at all. But yeah, something's gonna give. I think we have too good of a team to be struggling that much, honestly. I mean, we don't have a bad team at all. Now, the D might not be ridiculously strong, but it should be good enough to keep us afloat, and it's not. The goaltending should be with Abibulin should be pretty solid, but it's not. And we're struggling to score goals despite having guys like Sundin and Straka, and Mogilny should still be a goal scorer. Scott Young is having a kind of a disappointing season. Marcus Naslund is starting to wake up, so that's good. Ryan Smith has been okay, but we need a little bit more. Mikael Anderson is on the decline. I might need to get rid of him or something because my coach loves to play him on the first line for whatever reason. And at this point, it looks like the mannequin in the crash test dummies would be more useful than him. Now, don't get me wrong, Anderson has been playing relatively well for us up until this season. But yeah, he's really struggled this year. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save the game now. That's true, I'm not done looking at stuff. So I'm not going to stop now. Don't panic. Alright, now in the West, I'm pretty sure that the Red Wings are still first, and they are. The Kings are not far behind, too. Just 3 points behind the Red Wings. Then Colorado. Dallas is having a pretty nice season as well. Chicago, Vancouver, San Jose, and St. Louis. Ooh. So Phoenix has and Anaheim have started to play a little bit better. So now the worst team in the league is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, is that an omen about what's going to happen in Game 7 of their series against Montreal in real life tonight? Today is May 31st, 2021. At the time of this recording, that series has not been decided yet. So I don't know. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our stats and feel a little disappointed. Right, so our best player is, of course, Martin Straka. He's not that far away from the point per game. He's 43 points in 52 games, so that's not that far away from a point per game. Ryan Smith has 35 points, and then best defenseman is Brian Rafalski with only 26. It's not terrible, but I would expect a little bit more from Brian Rafalski. And then Adrian Aucoin has 25. Oh, Per Gustafsson has 21 points. That's one more than Teppo Numminen, which I find weird, but whatever. So my defensemen all have in the 20-point range almost. That's not nothing. So I don't have one defenseman that like carries the offense all that much. They all kind of contribute. But still, my problem is that we're not scoring nearly enough goals. My best goal scorer is Ryan Smith at 16, and that's not enough. Not at this point of the season. Not when the goal scoring leader has 48. That's more than 30 that's more than a 30 goal difference right there. So Ray Shepherd is the best goal scorer. He has 48 goals. He should get to 50 unless he gets hurt or suspended for 23 games or something. Mario Lemieux is the best passer with 52 assists, and the best player is now Mario Lemieux. He has passed Joe Sakic. He has 84. Teppo Numminen is the best shot blocker in the league. Oh, we have two of the best guys in the faceoffs in Michael Lanzus and Martin Straka. But again, we're struggling to score goals. Alright, and yeah, my save percentage for Abibulin is nowhere to be seen. He's dropping. That's not good. Alright, I believe I saved the game already. I'm gonna save it again. So hopefully next time out in March we can do better. Is there another blockbuster trade in the works? I don't know. Maybe there is. I'll have to think about it. But that's it for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video and you would like to help support me and my channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.